This is the first video on the first verse of the Bible. And we're going to go through every single verse of the 5 books of Moses and study them all individually in depth, in detail, from the greatest sages of all time. So we'll go through the Talmud, the commentaries, the Midrash, we'll do some gematria, and end with a Kabbalistic source. So many of you will know the translation "in the beginning." There are others, and we'll even touch on them. But we'll use this one for now. When God began to create heaven and earth, so Bereshit bara, Elokim, and then we have here Hashemayim and Haaretz, so the heavens and the earth. Or you could even say matter. What are these 10 utterances? You'll remember, or maybe you know this already, that the 10 Commandments aren't actually called the 10 Commandments. They're called the 10 sayings or the 10 utterances. And there's a connection between those and our very first verse. What are these 10 utterances? Presumably they are the utterances introduced by the words, "and Hashem," or Elohim, said, or yes, this would be Elohim, and God said in the story of creation in the first chapter of Genesis. However, there are only 9 of these utterances and not 10. The Gemara answers, the expression "in the beginning" from our verse is also considered an utterance, as it is written, "By the word of the Lord were the heavens made, and all the host of them by the breath of his mouth," from Psalms, which indicates that the first utterance of creation was the general creation of the entire universe. We're talking about a translation in this source, and they wrote for him, God created in the beginning. So Hashem created Bereshit, reversing the order of the words in the first phrase of the Torah that could be misinterpreted as Bereshit created God. They did so to negate those who believe in the pre-existence of the universe, or of the world, and those who maintain that there are 2 powers in the world, when we know there is only one. One is Bereshit, who created the second, God. So this is a mistake. And they wrote, "I shall make man in image and in likeness," rather than "let us make man in our image and in our likeness." As from there too, one could mistakenly conclude that there are multiple powers and that God has human form.